Hey guys, it's Becca here. I am going to run through these videos with you really quick. I am kind of on a time crunch, so I'm going to do week 20, and then I will stop this video and record week 21 separately. That way it'll upload faster to YouTube. If you try to upload a video that's too long, it takes a couple hours. So I'm going to try to get it uploaded so it'll do so faster. So I'm going to jump right in with week 20, history. This is Brown versus Board of Education. So I said it at the board once, we sang it once, and then the last 5 times I have this set of blocks. It's a castle, and so I let them all work together as a team to build a castle or castles. I think there was actually 3 by the time we got done saying it those 5 times. So they did this while we sang it the last 5 times. So that was history. Then we had canals. This one I used the tune, let's see, the Purple People Eater song. So it went like this. We've got the canals, Erie Canal, Pennsylvania Canal, Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, Ohio and Erie Canal, Miami and Erie Canal. And that one I did hand motions. So Erie, we think of our ear. So Erie, Pennsylvania, think of a pen, so writing with pen and paper. Chesapeake, you think of peeking, using binoculars to peek around looking at something. Ohio, wave like you're saying hi, so Ohio. And then Ohio and Erie Canal, and Miami, think Miami and Erie Canal. So we did that a couple times, and then we also did do the maps and had the kids point to them and say them as we sang it or did it. So that was geography. Then we had English. That one's kind of long, I will tell you. This one I used the song The Green Grass Grows All Around. And so it went, a phrase is a group of words that does not contain both a subject and a verb and may be used as a single part of speech. A clause is a group of words that does contain both a subject and a verb. So we sing that song, and I also have painter's tape that I use, and so I put out a really long strip of painter's tape. I actually did 2 strips, and I teamed them up in groups of 4, and they had to crab walk down the strip of tape and back, balancing a ball on their stomach. I will say I have a competitive set of students, so I should have just done 1 strip and let one at a time go down and come back and tag the next person because it ended up not working out so well this way. So if you do like this idea, I recommend 1 strip of tape as opposed to 2 so that you can try to avoid any competitiveness. This way they're all working together as 1 team instead of 2 teams, and it'll just go a lot smoother. But that was what I had planned for English. Latin, John 1:6, I simply did every other word. So we had, I think, 11 in our class today, so it worked out nicely. So I just went down the line and each person said a word. So one student said fuit, one said homo, the next one said missus. Adeo I put together, so that was 1 student. And then there was amen, I put those 2 together as well. Sent from God, and then somebody said John, and then somebody said 1:6. And so we just went around the room and tried to get faster each time so it sounded more fluent. And that was Latin. Math, the circumference of a circle, I did the tune Ring Around the Rosies. So the circumference of a circle equals 2 times pi, 3.14 times the radius. And then I have my parachute that I've used. Whoops, there we go. I've used that 1 other time, so we just went out in the foyer area so we have a little more room and all stood in a circle and went around one way and sang it, and then switched and ran around the other way to sing it, and then back and forth. We did that 4 times. We said it 3 times in class at the board, and then the last 4 times we did it with the parachute in the sanctuary, just changing directions. So they enjoyed that. Science, what is the theory of evolution? I used the tune Michael Finnegan. So what is the theory of evolution? The theory of evolution is the belief that life began as a chance combination of non-living things. And for this one, we just did exercises. So I have my popsicle sticks with the exercises on them, and they just each draw 1, and we do whatever's on the popsicle stick. Then for timeline, I just did my regular. I got my timeline cards out. We set it. I laid them out. We set it again. We went through and sang it, took some away, put them back as we sang it, took more away. Put them back as we sang it, took them all away. and then went through the last time and just said it. So that was timeline. And then for probability science, I used Nicole Liam again. This was hers for this week. There's a print off to write down the combinations, but I did not use this. It was a little smaller than what I wanted, so I just gave my kids dry erase packets and just put white paper in it, and that way they could either draw their own pizzas or they could keep track of combinations that they were doing. So I just did this very simple, and then like I said, you can or cannot use the other one. I just preferred white paper and dry erase packets so they could wipe off easily. So that's what I did for probability and combination pizza lab. For Tchaikovsky, I showed them the artist timeline card, or artist card, sorry. And then I went over what was in the guide, the new grammar for that week, or for this week. And then we listened to the music. And while they were listening, I had printed off St. Patrick's Day is Saturday, and so we dressed in green and whatnot today. That's the green. But I printed off these little bookmarks, and so they got to color those. And then I also printed off these because it kind of fit in with oils that we did earlier in the year, and then they could color them and cut them out at home to use. So that kept their hands busy while they could listen to the music. And last week I had forgotten to show y'all this. I accidentally left it in my bag, but I was going over the instruments last week, and this was the I Spy page that I found to print out, and here is the back page. So as they found them, I had marbles that they would just set on the lines as they went down. That's what I had done last week when we were talking about instruments and the 4 instrument families, was that. Also for this week, I had some questions that I had asked the kids that I thought up and wanted them to think about. So some of them were, do you listen to music every day? Do you listen to different kinds of music? Why? What is the point of music? Can it tell a story, do you think? Can it make you feel a certain way? Why have music at all when we can just use words to tell a story or share our feelings? Where did music come from, and who created it? Who put music into our hearts, and why do you think that is? Genesis 1:27 says that we are made in God's image. If we are made in his image and we love music so much, what does that tell us about God? Do you think that he loves us and he would like to share his joys with us, and maybe music is one of them? So just things like that to get them really thinking about music. And that was... yes, orchestra. And then for review, my kids love 4 corners, so I did 4 corners this week. I threw in a little twist at the end, so any of the kids that I called up from the corner, I had printed off these leprechaun outlines, and I had one of the parents keep track of this sheet, and I had a dice, and so they would roll the dice, and whatever number they rolled, the children would do this on their leprechauns. So it wasn't a competition to see who could finish their leprechaun. It was just to see how far different ones could get on their leprechauns. And then whatever they didn't do in class, they could take home and finish and color and whatnot. So that was that. I think I found that on Pinterest, I believe. I think I found both of these on Pinterest. So that was it for this week. I am going to go ahead and finish this one up and go ahead and upload week 21. I will be out of town this coming Friday, so I'll have a sub. These will not be things I've actually done in class, but this is what I had planned to do and what my sub is planning to do. So I will get that up for y'all here shortly.